Yes! 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 There we go! Yeah! What's up, guys? If you're looking for a good how-to video on removing factory riveted in ball joints in order to replace them with your choice of bolt-in, well, this may just be the video for you. Well, what's going on, guys? I am Jimmy here with One Road. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I remove factory riveted in ball joints and replace them with these beautiful bolt-in units. Now, if the prospect of removing factory riveted in ball joints is a bit daunting to you, don't let it be, because it's actually easier than it seems. Here's a factory ball joint that was also secured by rivets, and by turning it over, it reveals exactly what you're gonna need to do, which is simply to drill out the rivets. You can see after the drilling, it leaves this shell of a rivet, but this shell of a rivet is exactly what you want because it removes all of the structural integrity, allowing you to actually pry this ball joint out of the control arm fairly easily. So what do you say we get started? Hey, really quick, guys. I know we're talking about ball joints and this is fun and exciting, but I do want to throw a little disclaimer out there. I am not a professional technician. I'm just a guy in his garage doing what I love to do and filming it as entertainment. So take this video as entertainment only. Do not take my advice. Do your own research, your own due diligence, and come to your own conclusions, please. Now, this is the control arm and ball joint we'll be working on today. It's out of a 1995 GMC Suburban. It's secured by 3 rivets, and this hole was a bolt. I've already removed the bolt. That's pretty simple. Now, the first step of the process is to position the control arm so you're looking at the flat side of the rivet. And now, because we're going to drill these out, we want to center punch that rivet. You're going to need a punch, something like this, with a nice sharp end to it. Then we'll simply position the punch in the center of the rivet and make your mark. You can see I've already done these ones here. Now, once you have these centers punched, the next step is to move on to drilling. You don't need some big fancy drill. This is my Makita 12 volt and it does just fine. I'm starting with a 7/32 drill bit, and the goal is, with that center punch, to keep the hole as much in the center as possible. By doing this, you're drilling only through the rivet and not touching or damaging the factory hole in the control arm. I like to use just a little bit of oil while I'm drilling and try to keep that drill as vertical as possible. All right, if you look here at this 7/32 hole we just drilled, it is deeper than the actual head of the rivet. Now, in reality, the next step should be to step up the drill bit size to about 9/32 and continue drilling. But I want to see if I can knock the head of this rivet off like this. So I'm going to use my chisel here and a hammer, and I'm going to try to knock this off like this. Let's see how this goes. I'm being careful here not to dig into the actual control arm with my chisel, so you definitely don't want to place it like this. You're going to want it kind of flat like this. And there we go. Look at that, guys. Here is the rivet. It just popped right off with a few blows from a hammer and my chisel. And now you can get a good idea of just what's going on underneath that rivet head. There is simply a solid body of a rivet that goes right through the hole, and that rivet head just kind of sits there. And if you can drill down past the thickness of that rivet head, it'll pop right off. All right, well, that process was so easy. Let's go ahead and see if we can repeat it here on this one. First step is to lubricate it. Then I'll place my drill bit on the center punched hole. We might need to move the drill just a little to help that hole remain centered. All right, and again, it looks like we have drilled down past the thickness of the head of the rivet, and here we go. And sometimes it does help to come at it at multiple angles. Okay, so this is a perfect example of when we need to step up our drill bit size. This rivet is giving me a little more trouble, so let's drill it out with a little bit larger size. And that looks pretty deep. Let's clean it off and see what we did. All right, and taking a quick look, I can definitely see that it is drilled out enough. So let's try again with the chisel. There it goes. And here is that second rivet head. And I, of course, loosened it up with the first round of chiseling. But after drilling it out with the larger drill bit, you can see just how easy that was. All right, with this last rivet, what do you say we get all the way through it with the 9/32 drill bit before we start using the chisel? And for that, I'm going to start with the 7/32, and then I'll step up to the 9/32. Okay, I've definitely drilled deep enough. I'm moving on to the 9/32 drill bit. With that 9/32, I was able to get in there pretty deep. So what do you say? We start with the chisel. Just a few more taps and this thing will be gone. And there it goes. Wow, that was easy. I don't know about you, but for me, that proves it. And it's pretty obvious. Drilling it out with a larger drill bit like that 9/32 makes the rivet head removal much easier. We now have all 3 of the rivet heads removed. And the next step is to remove the structural integrity of the rivets by drilling them out some more. I'll apply some lube, and I'll continue the drilling process with the 7/32 drill bit. I'm using the smaller drill bit to try to ensure that I don't come into contact with the control arm surface at all. Hopefully that'll allow me to stay in the center of the rivet. And with just a few seconds of drilling, you can see that it indeed does allow me to stay in the center of that rivet and drill it out. I'm going to continue on and get the rest of the drilling done. And with maybe a minute of total drilling time, you can see I've drilled pretty deeply into these rivets. And with just a little more drilling, I'm now ready to start the removal process. To do that, I'm going to start with the chisel on this side with the bolt, since there's nothing in there. I'll simply take this chisel and try to wedge it right underneath. Okay, I've been working at this with the chisel and it's just not budging. This tells me I need to take a step back and drill these holes a little bit bigger. I'll be stepping up to this 9/32 and trying my best to keep it centered. And with that extra drilling, I have been able to drill all the way down in there while still not contacting the actual control arm metal. If you can tell, there is still a razor thin sliver of a sleeve left on that rivet. I'll now continue trying to wedge this chisel under this section here. And yes, this hammer and chisel method is working out beautifully. This ball joint is nearly out, just a little more work. At this point, I'm going to try using a pry bar to see if I can get it to move. Yes! 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 There we go! Yeah! We got it out, and it wasn't so hard after all. Well, we did it, and I think we did a pretty good job. You can see the rivet sleeves we left behind, and that's because we were extremely careful drilling these out. And what that did was remove the structural integrity of the rivet, allowing us to wedge this chisel up underneath the ball joint, which also allowed the rivets to deform just a little bit to give us a little play and allow this thing to pop right out. That's what I call a success. Now I'm gonna clean this up to get it ready for the new ball joint. Well, all right, I went ahead and cleaned up all the grease off of this control arm, and I also took a file across this entire surface to level everything up. You can see I did put a very minor amount of wear on this control arm right here, but with the file I flattened everything out and it is good to go. And here's what that other side looks like, and I did the same thing here. Now it's time to install the actual ball joint. I chose this unit by Mevotech. This is their Mevotech TTX. Now, I'm the type of guy that usually sticks to OEM products, so normally I would buy AC Delco, but I have read a lot of great reviews about the Mevotech TTX, and so I opted for these. And it fits exactly like factory. Included in the kit are 2 different bolt plates. You have this one here with longer bolts that I'll be using, and they also give you one with shorter bolts. And all you do is simply push that through and set your ball joint and start these included nylon lock washer nuts. Then I'll simply use this 13mm socket to give it the initial tighten. And after the initial tightening, I'll take my torque wrench and torque it down to 18 foot-pounds, which is my factory spec. And those are now torqued down to factory spec, and the job of replacing these ball joints is now complete. I now have 2 original factory upper control arms that are like new. And with the brand new pressed in bushings, as well as this probably better than factory hardware, at this point, these are probably better than new. Well, all right, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, if at the very least, it was entertaining for you. If it was, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And also, if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I'm Jimmy, and the channel is One Road, and I will see you in the next one.